Good morning, everyone. In the yesterday's lecture, we started with the characteristic symptoms which can be elicited following 7 consideration, from which we have completed first 2 points, that is quiz and quid. So what is quiz? Once again, I will revise. Quiz is nothing but changes in the personality, temperament or individuality of the patient. Quiz first belongs to age, sex, bodily constitution of the patient, temperament, and if possible, both these things, which are separated according to his sick and his well state. So we have to consider its constitution before he was suffering from disease condition, and constitution, its temperament, as well as other symptoms before disease appears and after the commencement of the disease. In all these peculiarity, before and after, whatever we get the changes, differences, it differs in a striking or rare way, so it will be noticeable, and these changes are very much important. And in these most variations, we also find out the states of mind, variations in state of mind, in his mental state as well as in spirit. As every man presents an individual nature different from every other one, in the same way, every medicine is different from every other medicine. A great number of medicines are thrust aside just because they do not correspond to personality of the patient. So when we find out the exact simillimum from the group of similars, from that group of similars we only select one medicine because they do not exactly match the personality, they do not exactly match all the features or all the symptom similarity. So this is quiz means changes in personality, changes in constitution, temperament. These are the chief features. These are very much important things in our portrait of while making the portrait of the disease. Then second point which we discussed, that is quid, that is disease individualization, nature of the disease, peculiarities of the disease. So when we must know first what is or which part is affected, what is an evil accurately, how the patient get affected with which things, then only we can able to remove that evil, remove that disease from the person and give the cure to the patient. Sometimes without recognizing the exact nature of disease, without taking the exact history of the patient disease condition, occasionally the when we prescribe without proper history, then occasionally we get the results, but most of the time without proper history, without proper recognizing the nature of the disease, the nature of the evil which is present in the individual, we cannot able to remove that evil, we cannot able to remove that disease from the person. As most of the diseases are, especially the allopathic physician, they treat the diseases with the help of disease diagnosis, but we cannot go according to the diagnosis of disease, we cannot treat under name of the disease, because as we have already seen in the quiz point, that is, each individual has its own nature. In the same way, each medicine is also having its own nature. So though the person is suffering from the same disease condition, but their nature is different, so they require to get the cure, they require different medicines. So according to disease diagnosis, we cannot able to cure the patient. We only use the rubrics which are given according to the disease condition, disease diagnosis, when the pathological state is too much advanced, when we cannot get the proper symptoms, proper history, no uncommon peculiar symptom in the case, all symptoms are common, we get only few symptoms from the patient. In such condition only the clinical rubrics or disease diagnosis or diagnostic rubrics are helpful. According to allopathic physician, they require disease diagnosis. We also require disease diagnosis to find out the prognosis of the patient. Is it the patient is curable or not curable? But for treatment, we considered the man as a whole, not his part, not his disease. So the disease diagnosis is only required to find out the condition of the patient, stage of his disease. And this diagnostic at most and even not always serve exclude all the remedies from the competition. These are helpful to find out the many times when we get only common symptoms, then we find out such diagnostic rubrics from the repertory, and from those rubrics we get some group of indicated remedies, and from that we can able to find out the simillimum. So for this purpose only the disease diagnosis, disease individualization is important. Then the third point is UB, that is seat of the disease. It makes a part of former question, that is, this is important as it frequently furnishes a characteristic symptom, as every medicine acts more and more decidedly on certain particular part. As we know that in our materia medica, when we open our materia medica, then in each and every medicine, the symptoms from head to toe, it was given with under different parts, under different systems. The symptoms related to that part are given in each and every medicine. In each and every medicine, we found that there are symptoms related to head, symptoms related to eye, mouth, then abdomen, menstrual symptoms, then related to sleep, extremities. So all medicines, they are acting on each and every parts. So to find out the exact simillimum, we have to find out the characteristic symptom of that person. Sometimes, very rarely, the case that all parts of the body are affected in the same degree, even if right side is more affected than left side or reverse. For example, if the patient is suffering from headache, there is pain in eye, toothache, colic. Then allopathic physician, they describe it in a general way, and they they are having some indicated group of remedies for headache, for toothache, for colic, and not how the pain was, then which side of the head is affected, which side of the tooth is paining. They are not go in such deep way. But when we are treating the patient homeopathically, then we cannot go with the diagnosis, go with the only uh, chief complaint, that is if the patient is having headache, then we have to take, or we are taking in detail how the pain starts, how was the pain, type of pain, then which side, what is the exact location of pain in the head, is it right side, is it left side, is it frontal, which side, which part of the head is get affected, is there pain in which part of the head, then how the pain starts, what is the character of the pain, when it get aggravated, when it get ameliorated, is there any other complaint with the headache. So we considered all these things when we are dealing with the symptom of headache, pain in eye, toothache, colic of the patient. But the allopathic physician, they do not consider all these things. They only treat the patient with the heading headache. Exact individualization of the UV is most necessary in local elements, as every homeopath knows from experience. After treating many patients, homeopath can able to find out the exact how to individualize exactly, how to individualize the disease, how to find out the seat of the disease exactly. For example, efficacy of sepia in ulcers of joints when taken internally without any external medication. Medicines which correspond to similar ulcers on other part of the body in such cases are useless. Means if there is ulcers of joint, then sepia is most indicated. There are so many remedies for ulcers, but the ulcers on different parts of the body. As in sepia, there are ulcers in joints. In the same way, ulcers on other parts of the body, there are many remedies which are indicated, but then they are given if the patient is having ulcers of joints, and when we prescribe any other remedy which is only indicated for ulcer but not for the joints, then when we prescribe such remedy, then it was not going to work. So for exact result, for accurate result, for cure, we have to select the exact similimum. As comparing to allopathic physician, they unacquainted with the peculiarities of various medicine, and there will be no use of closer details of the parts affected, as well as no allopathic materia medica which gives in information as deeply as in our materia medica we found. for example, corresponds more to the anterior or posterior lobe of the liver, more on upper lower part of the lung, right left side, according to which choice of the remedy which changes in homeopathy. As in homeopathy, if there is lung trouble, which indicating use of certain remedies, and when we go in detail of that symptom, then we find out the lung is affected on right side, which lung is affected, right sided, left sided, at which part, which top, bottom, which lobe get affected. So in that way, according to exact location, our choice of remedy in homeopathy, it get differs. So seat of the disease, that is UB, is also most important part while taking the symptom or while collecting the history from the patient. Seat of the disease, exact location of the disease is also very much important. Then the fourth point is Cubus auxilis. It is also called as concomitant symptoms. In homeopathy, to find out any remedy which is similar to the totality of the symptom, the accompanying symptom is of greatest importance and it requires a careful consideration. It helps us to individualize the patient. Concomitants are regarded when we select a remedy according to similia similibus. So, on PQRS symptom, have more prominent place and demandable because on them chiefly or exclusively similitude depends. So these are the concomitant symptoms. As we already know that the concomitant symptoms, they are according to Dr. Boni Hussain, and these symptoms are only called as PQRS symptoms according to Dr. Hahnemann. So these PQRS symptoms, these concomitant symptoms are very much important to individualize the patient and to find out the exact similimum. The value of these concomitant symptoms, they are varied and it varies widely. That means the symptoms which found in almost all diseases may be left out of our count unless they manifest themselves in a striking manner. Those symptoms which we found in all diseases, which may be left out because they are common symptoms and we take only the striking, only the uncommon symptom of that disease. Then the elements which appear as constant concomitant and not considered unless they should be distinguished by some rare peculiarity in this respect offer something characteristics. and these symptoms should be carefully noted because there is they are rarely found during the proving as well as rarely appear in connection with the leading disease. So these symptoms are very much important and we should note down, we should find out such symptoms carefully. Then these symptoms which belong to another sphere of disease than the chief complaint, they are different from the chief complaint. Then they have more or less characteristic signs of any one medicine. So it is called as PQRS symptom because with the help of these symptoms we can able to find out the medicine because these are the characteristic symptoms of one of the medicines, and such symptoms would be included among those which Hahnemann called as PQRS symptom: striking, strange, unusual, peculiar, characteristic symptoms, and they are helpful for individualizing the patient, so as well as for individualizing the remedy. And they are very much helpful, they are very much valuable, important symptoms because specific remedies which we can find out easily with the help of these concomitant symptoms or these symptoms, PQRS symptoms. So this is all about the Cubus oxalis. Then cure. Cure means prima causa morbid, that is cause of the disease. Why? When we ask the patient why, then we find out the cause of the exact cause of the disease before treating the patient. And this cause of the disease is divided into two groups, or the cause may be of two types, that is it may be internal cause, it may be external cause. Then in internal cause it refer to general natural disposition, peculiar super sensitiveness, that is idiosyncrasy. So in internal cause it may be disposition of the patient or oversensitiveness, idiosyncrasy of the patient. It may be the internal cause of the disease. Then in external cause it may be, there may be internal disposition to the disease and so the disease is produced. The general natural disposition, which is also called as proximate cause or near cause. Natural disposition of the patient is called as the proximate or near cause and belongs to the first question, that is vis, that is individuality or personality of the patient. In the original natural disposition, what is disposition? Yes?
Tendency.
Yes?
tendency.
Yes, very good. Disposition means tendency. It is nothing but predominant or prevailing tendency of one's spirit or natural mental emotional outlook or mood. The tendency of the patient, his mental emotional outlook or his mood. It is the characteristic attribute of the patient or the tendency to act in a specific way. It's natural or acquired habit or characteristics tendency in a person or thing. So disposition is again of two type. Mental disposition, it is again of different types. Mental disposition, general disposition, particular disposition, then acute disposition and chronic disposition. So we are not going in details about the disposition, but while finding out the cause of the disease, we have to first find out the original natural disposition of the patient. Then it may be occasional cause. What is occasional cause? This either depends on miasmatic chronic nature or may derive from the remains and after effects of acute disease. Numerous class of medicinal diseases or poisoning, that is infectious diseases. So in this way we have to find out the cause of the disease. Is the cause, it may be internal or external, which cause is present behind the disease condition of the patient? Is it disposition, is it idiosyncrasy, or if it is external cause, then there is internal disposition to the disease which may produce the disease condition external. So we have to find out the exact cause of the disease. Then Qumodo. Qumodo means modalities. Modus refers to modalities. That is anything which aggravate or which ameliorate the condition of the patient. If we compare the list of symptoms of the medicines, we find in almost every symptom the general indication of every disease like headache, colic, any disease, pain in chest, diarrhea, constipation, fever, cutaneous ailment. We found that the every medicine is having all these symptoms. In every medicine we found headache, colic, fever, then cutaneous elements, but more or less frequently the symptoms are differing, as well as the intensity in each intensity is different in each remedy. The factors which aggravate the condition, the factors which ameliorate the conditions are different. For example, if a patient for whose condition pulsatilla seems suitable according to 5 preceding questions, but feels best while at rest in a warm room, feels uncomfortable in open cool air, as this is the main complaint, as the main complaint or we in front of our eyes, the name pulsatilla came when the patient feel comfortable in open cool air, but all the symptoms they match with the pulsatilla, but the patient is feeling better in warm room and uncomfortable in open cool air, also fond of fat foods and beers, and then it comes a conflict with the characteristics of the pulsatilla. This would give an urgent cause to doubt the applicability of it to his case, and we go towards or we look for the another remedy, because as the characteristic of the pulsatilla is better in open air, and this only we exactly opposite symptom we found in the case, then pulsatilla was not indicated in that case, and we go for the different remedy which is having this symptom, and when we prescribe according to that symptom, then only we get the result. So the modalities, though all the symptoms matches, but the characteristic modalities they are exactly opposite, then our choice of remedy may changes. So the QMODO, that is modality factor, is also very much important. Then the last 7 point is CONDO, that is the time factor. The time of appearance of exact aggravation as well as amelioration of the symptom. Our efforts has been made to fix the period and continue of the beginning of increase or decrease or decrease the symptoms of the disease. This point, CONDO, the time factor, it is useful to recognize and characterization of the disease. With the help of these time modalities, we can able to find out the characterization of that disease state. Some remedies are also indicated by their symptom only in cases where this return is sharply or definitely pronounced. For example, as we all know, in lycopodium there is